Welcome to church. Welcome to local church. It's fun saying that. Before we get into it, just turn to the person next to you and tell them what is the the best carol, Christmas song in the world. You got 30 seconds. Tell them. I don't hear anyone talking about Mariah Carey. There's some. We had a volunteers end of year dinner the other night, and we were doing karaoke, and I decided to sing Feliz Navidad. I didn't realize how long that song would go, because it just kept going, and I still don't know Spanish. First of all, just thank you to everyone who serves in the church, everyone who gives so much. How well did Nisha lead today? She's led fantastically. Well, that's good. People aren't in a clapping mood today for some reason. Do you know what I think it is? I think it's because everyone's just a little bit thrown that they're not sitting in the seats that they're used to sitting in. It's like, this is different. I tell you, it happens every year that we do this. People still just don't know what to expect. It's this. This is what's happening. We're going to talk about God, and then we're going to put love into action, yeah? So I just want to give you a short message because we've got the kids in here today with us, you know. So we're gonna try and speak to them as well. But I want to talk just briefly about a candle of hope. Say a candle of hope. So we are coming into what is typically known in Christian tradition as a time known as Advent. Hear me out. Advent is not a bad thing. You know, for those of the Pentecostal tradition, you know, we can try new things. Advent is a good thing. What it is, it means the beginning of. It's the beginning of. And Advent is a four-week build-up until the coming of Christ. And who knows what the 4 weeks are? Hope, peace, joy, and love. Who agrees that those are good things? Hope, peace, joy, and love. So what happens in some traditions is, and we're going to do something tricky here, they light a candle on the first day. Look, we lit a candle. I left my candle at home. So they light a candle because the candle itself is commemorating light. And if you think about the current state of the world, and if you think about the current world, when in Isaiah, when we get these verses found in Isaiah 9 verses 2 and 9 verses 6, we say, the people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. Who was scared of the dark as a kid? Who's still scared of the dark? It's that great feeling when a light gets turned on. That great feeling when you see light under the crack of a door, and it gives you just a bit of hope that says that there's more to life than just this darkness. There's more to life. When we look in Isaiah, what was actually happening at this time is that the Israelites were in a time of exile, darkness, defeat. The Babylonians had defeated them and taken a lot of people into exile, slavery. And so Isaiah steps into that and he prophesies these things, and he speaks into the darkness, into their situation, and says that a great light has come. Those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. And then he goes on later on and he prophesies this, and this is where we get it from. The Bible verses, it says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders." Who likes that? Who feels something stirred inside when you hear that? It says, "And he will be called Wonderful Counselor." Is he that, people? He will be called Mighty God. Yes? He'll be called Everlasting Father, yes? He will be our Prince of Peace. And I think this is what we have to realize is that contextually, when this was written, it was written to people who were in deep, dark exile, slavery, brokenness. Can I tell you, church, that what happened back then, that darkness, the exile, there are many people who still live in that same darkness today. If you turn your TV on, if you turn the news on, if you look on Facebook, on anything, you'll see that hope was relevant then, and hope is still relevant today, yeah? We need to give hope and show hope more than ever before, because the darkness, even though the light has come, the darkness still exists until the second coming of Christ. So we have to live as though he has arrived. Live as though we carry that light. We have to light a candle. Metaphorical. If you want to do it literally, go and do it. I know some people do it when they do Sabbath. They light a candle just to recognize God in that moment. We need to recognize the power of the light, that we are light, salt and light, the power of light, the light that is the name of Jesus, the power of light, the hope was so relevant then and is so relevant today, because hope is not a thing. It's not just wishful thinking. It is a person. Come on. Hope was never just wishful thinking. It is a person. It says in Numbers 23:19, God is not human that he should lie. Does he speak and then not act? Does he promise and not fulfill? It says in Hebrews 10:23, let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess for he who promised is faithful. Hope is a promise that is already signed in heaven. And you know that whole context of us bringing heaven to earth? We are called as believers, as carriers of the light, to bring heaven to earth, to bring the light of heaven to earth in our lives. Because Jesus came, he lit the flame, and now he asks us to carry that. Hope is not just wishful thinking. I hope that these chocolates taste good. Hope is not just, I hope that we pack this in time so I can go and have my lunch. Hope is not just wishful thinking. Hope in the biblical sense is a person. And when we have someone, it says that does he promise and not fulfill? Does that not stir you? That we have hope who promises and follows through on his promises. Have you got someone in your life that you're always like, they say they'll be, then you're like, nah, you won't. And then you find that person that says, nah, I'll be, then I'll bring this dessert. And you're like, we will have that dessert. That is guaranteed. That is guaranteed. There's just these people that just are guaranteed to promise, but to fulfill the promise. That is Jesus. That is not wishful thinking. That is Jesus. He says and he does. Yahweh, the great I am, means I will do what I said I will do. I will be who I said I will be. I am who I said that I am. I believe in a God, and I believe that what we're doing recognizes the God that we believe in, who promises and then fulfills promises. Beautiful. Thank you, Phoebe. And so, then this is what we have to recognize today. Hope is on the move. Turn to the person next to you and say, hope is on the move. Hope is on the move. Hope is on the move. That was my son, everyone. Every hamper, people, every hamper that we pack today, I know it's just a practical thing. Every hamper that we pack today is a sign that hope is on the move, that it's not contained to just this building, that hope is not just contained to we're all just burning brightly here and we never go anywhere else. Hope is meant to break into dark places. Hope is meant to break into dark places. Let me say that again. If your life is not going into dark places, you need to recognize and reconsider the fact that actually he lives in me for a purpose. And I need to take hope. I need to take light into dark places. And you know, what we have here today, it might seem insignificant. It might seem like, oh, why do we have to pack hampers? Can I tell you, we've done this for 5-6 years now. The testimonies that we have from this are more than I've ever heard from some people coming to church for 30 years. I've heard more testimonies from this than some people who are professional Christians and will sit in church their whole life and never talk to a non-Christian. I'm throwing the gauntlet down, people. If a box of goodies can evangelize better than you can, we need to shift our mentality. Because this does. This reaches into dark places. You know, a bag of chips says you're seen. A carton of custard says tomorrow can be better. A box of chocolate says joy has not left the world. We're delivering foretastes of the kingdom in cardboard boxes. I laughed when I wrote it, and I laugh now. Hope is not a feeling, hope is a person, yeah? His name is Jesus. Hope is already active wherever God's people love their neighbors. Hope is contagious. These boxes will carry light into dark places. Yeah, and if we chuck the candle up, just to finish off, you see this candle here? Yeah, I've heard this term. I won't tell you where it comes from, but the smallest match can burn the biggest bridge. Yeah, you don't need a big light to have big impact. The smallest light, the smallest match can burn the biggest bridge. Your light today, the small act that you do of placing a candy cane bag into a box is the small match that might burn a bridge. In a good way. We're not burning bridges in bad ways. All right. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to explain to you the process of today, and then I'm going to release the people to put hope into action, yeah? And so what's going to happen is